Good.
Yes.
Everybody good? All right. Welcome, everyone, to our work session. Thank you for coming out tonight. We'll call the work session in order at this time. First item of business on the work session is each of y'all have been given a copy of the EMS Ambicare contract slash Priority is the owner, Priority, which they still are called Ambicare. That contract comes up in April. You have a copy of that to start reviewing, and we have to let them know 90 days prior to the contract that if we're going to be changing anything. And so we will let them know just that we're going to look at it, and there could be chances of changes unless everybody is good. So that's something for you to be reviewing on that item. Any questions?
Does this contract, it's an every year contract, correct?
It
3 years.
automatically renews for the 3 years.
3 years, okay.
Three-year contract.
And this is July
Yes.
of this, of 20,
June 30th.
June 30th, okay. All right.
We would have to send the notice out 90
90
days in
days.
advance, so we wanted to get a jump start on that.
All right. Okay. The next item is the crisis response team has come and about purchasing, asking our approval for a purchase of a tactical response camera that would identify drugs that they come in contact with. And what it is that means they don't have to handle the drugs where, in case they're laced with fentanyl or what have you, it could harm them. They do have a machine here tonight, but what's happening right now is they're having to pay $800 for a kit. And this kit, that they're spending up to about $4,000 a month for a kit, for kits to identify these drugs that's in the county, opioid drugs. And that's about $48,000 a year with the calls that this team responds to. And the cost of the machine is $31,458.70. And so that would be a very big savings one time. But Ty is here with the team, and if there's any questions at this time that you would like to ask, feel free at this time.
How much is the kit costing?
Yes, sir. A kit costs $800 for a mobile detect kit. The thing is,
One.
yes, sir. At the rate we're using them, I wrote this paper up, but the rate we're using them, we went to order today, but we held off until we get approval for this analyzer. It's not a camera, it's a spectrum analyzer. It's kind of like a data collector, if you want to look at it in that aspect. It uses lasers and light to detect the drug substance. As the chairman said, where we don't actually have to touch the substance at all times. Sometimes it can analyze through bottles, it analyzes through bags, so we can see what that substance is. But as of today, we needed to order 18 of those kits. And if you do the math, 18 times $800, and then do that 6 times a year, we're looking at $81,000 that we're actually going to be spending. So this instrument here will save us from having to buy those kits, be able to use this. It's a mobile instrument that we can take in the field with us to the scene or where we need it at. And it will actually save us, if it's $31,000 a year, y'all are pretty smart, so $81,000 minus $31,000 is $50,000 the first year.
How many years has this machine been out on the market, and how successful has it been proven?
From the understanding that I have from the demonstration that we received from the salesman from Houston who flew in, this machine's been on the market now. This particular machine that we're ordering has been on the market for over 5 years, and they last of a rate of 4 to 5 years so far. They haven't had any problems with battery life. They've been consistent. Not only that, it will only be handled by special operators that are trained to use it. And it also comes with a GPS unit in it, so at all times you know where it's at. The next thing that's beneficial to us is it collects data and does charts that you can print out showing what substance or compounds or substances are in whatever substance that we're analyzing.
What fund do you want to pay for it out of, Ty? Or y'all asking for it
Yes,
to
sir.
come out
I'm
of?
asking for y'all's permission to get it out of the opioid settlement fund.
And this would be with your department that you're a part of,
Yes, sir.
the two-man team.
Yes, sir, but it'll also be used throughout the sheriff's office, and I brought DTF to help us this evening. We have 3 members of the DTF that are attached to, from Haralson County, that are attached to our district, or regional DTF task force, and we also have special operations at Haralson County. So this machine will stay at Haralson County at the sheriff's office and be used only in Haralson County with Haralson County deputies or special unit operations that are trained to use the unit because of the cost of it.
Now, this is going to completely obliterate the $800 cost of,
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Not only that, it's not only going to get rid of the cost of that, it's also going to give us a better analyzation of what the compound or the substance is. It's also GBI approved. Those other kits that we're using, they come in little packages. And this one here is actually an analyzer. It gives us data and charts. And outside of that, the library that is in it is compound or created by the DEA. We are the information that's in the library of the data collector itself is loaded from the DEA database. So, and like I said, the GBI approves it, so it'll help us in many aspects. But the biggest thing, it's really going to help us with officer safety, first responder safety, and so that we have a less risk of getting exposed
Is
to
there an
fentanyl.
annual fee on that?
No, sir, there's not.
And what kind of maintenance is there on it? You say they last 4 to 5 years, so.
Yes, sir. My understanding, there's no maintenance, there's no fee. You buy it, you use it. The only thing that upcharges is if the library changes or we want to add to the library, then we just contact the company and they go in, like any computer software individual, and they add expounded library. At this time, DTF can explain, do we need any more library than what we have in there at this time?
Not that we've seen, we've utilized this one probably for the last 2 years, it's
Step
bought
up
by
to
the
the
GBI.
mic, please.
I'm sorry. Not at this time, we've been utilizing this specific one for the last couple of years. It was purchased by the GBI, which I'm a part of, detached from Haralson County Sheriff's Office. Problem is we cover Polk, Paulding, and Haralson, and a lot of times it's not where we need it to be conveniently. And the biggest draw to this, beyond what he explained, is just the safety for the people that come in contact and with fentanyl and heroin and different things on the rise. I mean, it's everything we can do. These old tests, these field tests as they were called, it required us to get this substance out and free where it can get airborne, or I'm sure you've seen the videos of different things of people coming in contact with fentanyl, but that's the main thing, is we can keep it relatively safe. It's not a total controlled environment, but for the most part in a package or a plastic bag or in a container, depending on to a degree. But we've used this for the last couple of years without any issues. There's no problems that I've seen with it. And like he said, it gets this, it has a memory and it has access for a USB to where we can download that, attach it to each of our case files and submit that to the DA's office while the substance is going to the crime lab to get the official analysis. But I've never seen it contradict what the crime lab came back, the results of the crime lab, what it came back with. So the safety, the convenience is probably the biggest things. And then these other things that he's talking about spending, throughout the year that cover the cost of this thing within the first year, and it pays for itself, within the first year and beyond that.
When you speak of the library, just say, for God's sake, some unknown substance comes in. Is that something they update into that machine right there?
Well, the thing is, the library comes so updated at this point that there are drugs in that library that we have not encountered yet. So it will find us. And the one thing I do want to mention, although this was brought today as a demonstration to show y'all what it looks like, that way it's kind of hard to get something without having it. We do not have access to this in Haralson County. This machine is in Paulding County, and they allowed it to come over here tonight just so that we could show you what the instrument looked like. So we don't have access to this instrument
Okay,
Haralson
so
County.
if different deputies are using it, ends up in different vehicles, people forget who's got what where.
No, sir.
It's got a GPS to find it.
That's correct, yes, sir.
Who's able to do that? Any phone or,
It'll be controlled by the master, which means that we're gonna assign this to the sheriff's office, this instrument, or our instrument to the sheriff's office. And it's not gonna be used by any deputy, sir. It's gonna be controlled. It's only gonna be used by a few deputies that have the proper training to use the instrument. And those deputies will be supervisors that do use it. They're already supervisors. And if for something happens to the instrument, we will know where it's at through the database that we have at the sheriff's office with the software that comes with the instrument, sir.
is your two-man department gonna be credible in using it? The department that you
Yes,
have?
sir, most definitely.
Okay, both of y'all.
Our
will
job
be.
is to help with the remediation of opioids throughout the county, right?
Right.
What better tool could we use to do that with?
Avery, is this something we need to vote on, or is this something we can just go ahead and just give him the authority to expend the opioid funds from?
If everyone's good with it.
I do
we'll
want to thank you for your time this evening. Thank y'all.
Everyone's good with it, we will add that to our item number 11 for our agenda to vote on in our work meeting.
My question, let me ask you this, price, everything's dollars, $32,000. What's, ingenuity comes down, what are we seeing with these instruments over the last 2, 3, 4 years? They say we got a better model and the price goes up, or are they the same and the price goes up?
Okay, I have an answer for that question, but if you don't mind, Mr. Tarpley, will you please repeat yourself again?
Yeah, do they come out with new improved models each year and the price of them go up? Or they just tell you that the price is going up and they really no different in next year's model than this year's model? They just go up on them.
I'm going to be honest with you. I cannot give you an exact answer on that because I'm not the manufacturer.
Right.
But I will tell you that the model that we're fixing to receive, if y'all will help us to get that, we will not need a replacement for, due to the fact that it will last us 3, 4, 5 years to do the job we need to do without an updated piece of equipment. This actual piece of equipment here that you saw today is only, they have another instrument, but it's about $20,000 more in price. This one runs off half the power of the other instrument. So those are the only two models that I know of right now. And this is a specific, the reason why there's not 3 quotes from 3 different companies is this is a specific company that this is the only place we can get it from. So to give you an honest answer, I just can't give you an answer saying that prices don't change or new technology doesn't come out. But at the time we're at in Haralson County, the technology that we have will last with this for quite a while.
And that one's able to be updated also, so you
That's
can
the thing,
update
yes,
it
sir.
and keep your software updated.
Well, the biggest thing with the update is, the only update we're really gonna need is if there's a new drug that we find or new drug or compound comes out, and then all we have to do is contact the business itself and just ask for an updated library.
And it's free as well, correct? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
sir. It's my understanding it's free up to 220. The way it was explained to me is up to 220 different compounds in there. It is at that price. So we'll receive it at that price with 220 lists from the DEA. So
How long
it's,
has Paulden had their machine?
It's going on a couple of years. 2.5 years.
2.5, okay,
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
How many do you got?
Yeah, it's this one.
Y'all utilize it in your task force like we will use it in, I know you get the opioid money as well, so, do y'all use it now? Y'all use it every day,
They were using that in some capacity.
okay?
I want y'all to think of this too. Say we don't have any illegal substance. Say somebody used the goody powders. Say they worked an 18-hour day, they were driving home, their eyes are bloodshot. Have y'all ever done that before? I have. And the point is, I had a headache, their back hurt, working 18 hours. Say they used some goody powders and they spilt some as they were putting them in their mouth and they swerved over the white line and one of our deputies pulled them over for failure to maintain lane. As soon as they walk up, they notice a white substance on them. What's the first thing you're gonna think of? So now, if we have this analyzer, we can test that substance right there on the person, on their shirt, right there. Now, we understand that it's not gonna be an illegal substance. It's gonna be goodie powders, right?
Keeps people out of jail.
There we go. Not only that, we're not harassing the citizens that, because we don't know. Now we understand they're not a criminal, and they get to go home. I mean, that, to me, that's a win-win situation, because it's our job to protect and serve, right? So if we can help our citizens with this, as much as help our citizens by removing, or doing our best to remove drugs out of the area and the opioids, so then I think it's a good
It's
instrument.
much more truthful in its analyzation. What was it that used to
Yes.
come out in the news several years ago, and people
Yes.
were beating it in jail, at court, because they were being tested, on site with,
Yes, sir.
and these handheld, and a
Well-
lot of times they were wrong.
Well, in the past, you have to take a vial,
Wow.
and then you add the substance to the vial, then you shake it up, and then you get a color code, from a little strip, if you've ever done a urine test, for drugs, like for job employment. With this thing here, if you notice right here, this is a laser. A laser comes through this, and there's different applicators going here, from right angles to wide spectrums, which we ask for to get a bigger surface area testing. So you can take these here and say we're to put this right angle in there. You plug it in, and you would lay it, say this right here was a clear bag, and there was a hard rock substance in there, maybe crack, we thought maybe it was methamphetamine, right? Crystal meth. You could actually lay this instrument directly on top of it. You press a button, it starts, it runs, and it gives you it tells you within about 30 seconds what that drug source is, what that compound is, and it also prints out a chart. Once you flip over in the data, you can change the screen, and you can see a chart where it actually reads and tells you what other compounds and substances is located in that substance. So it is very good. It's approved by the GBI. It helps with court cases. It'll help bring down time. It'll help manage time and financial burden with the court system. So all the way around, we're saving taxpayers money by doing this. And it's coming out of the opioid settlement fund, which is not taxpayers, but if we spend the money properly to help the taxpayers, that's what we're trying to do. And like I said, I'm just as much about helping our citizens as taking them to jail. So I think this is a great thing where we don't have to charge someone for an illegal substance if they don't have one.
Thank you. You got a question?
Hey, Gabby, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
We geek in the room. I
Yes,
work
sir.
on computers. What kind of warranty does it come with, far as if it's falling out of, what do you call it, phase? It's a laser.
Yes,
If
sir.
it needs to be recalibrated,
Yes, sir.
whatever, what does the company do that sells it to
Yes, sir.
warranty those functions?
Yes, sir. The salesmen come from Houston and done a demonstration, so you can all hear me. The salesmen come from Houston and done a demonstration last week for us. My question, I did ask one of those questions because they do not have a representative here. But as of next month, their company will have a representative in Atlanta. They said that for anything, like anything else, if you abuse something, you're gonna have to pay for it. But if it just falls out of calibration, for example, then we can have it recalibrated. Of course, it's a cost. You like computers and things, you ever worked with a data collector or worked in surveying?
All the time.
Okay, so the deal is, every instrument over some period of time needs to be recalibrated. Not only that, I'm not sure the expense of the calibration, but it's not gonna have to be recalibrated unless it's abused for at least 2 years, they tell us. They said that it holds pretty good. Have y'all ever have yours recalibrated?
We hadn't seen any issues with anything. Now, like he said, could it fall out? And maybe we can get those answers if that's necessary, but we haven't, through different departments and different people using it, we haven't had any issues with anything like that
No, and
yet.
I think it's a great idea, and I get where you're
Yes, sir.
going. Basically, a spectral analyzer you're walking around with instead of a lab.
Thank you for your question.
I love that idea.
Yes.
Just downstream cost, if you gotta have it recalibrated once a year, and
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be another, $8,000-$10,000, that's probably not.
No, sir. It's my understanding for the recalibration fees, when I asked them what the fees were, they said between $1,200 and $1,500. So, but that also includes adding other libraries. But at the same time, as Paulding County said, they have not had to have theirs recalibrated in 2.5 years. So that's a good question. We always want to know how money's being spent and what we need to do down the road. But if we can make it 1 year with this, we're already saving $50,000.
And I
So-
completely agree with you, but, computers are computers, and when you build one.
Yes, sir.
It can be different.
Yes,
based off
sir.
of the line it comes off of.
Well, thank you for your question. It was a good question, sir.
No problem.
Thank you,
Does the
Ty.
board have any other questions at this time?
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, gentlemen. Have a good evening.
Thank y'all for coming. All right. Our next item is crossbeam. Mr. Glenn Wood, Kyle Williamson.
Nobody's following me. Everybody's leaving me hanging. Commissioners, thank you. I think everybody knows who Carroll EMC is and who Crossbeam is. Carroll EMC roughly has 150 employees. Crossbeam, Synchronet, our parent company in Haralson County, we have as of last week, 89, so these are really recent numbers. Commissioner Farmer, you were around I'm going to go over just 5 minutes of history. Everybody, if you can think back to pre-2019, there really was no broadband in Haralson County. And Carroll EMC, Tim Martin and myself, Carroll EMC and Crossbeam, we knew that if we didn't join forces and take care of West Georgia, nobody was going to be interested in our home. So we started meeting with the county in 2019. We went through 6 different grants applications. In 2019, we invested $908,000 on a United States Department of Agriculture, RUS, Reconnect grant. Haralson County, we were denied, not by the county, federal government. We went through 3 RUS grants, could never get Haralson County approved. We went through Georgia's first grants with the Department of Community Affairs. They wouldn't approve Haralson County. We went through the National Telecommunications Information Association broadband program with Haralson County. It was denied. We went through the Georgia Capital Projects Funds back during COVID when we had ARPA and state local recovery funds. During the last 2 grant applications that we were denied, the county and Carroll EMC and Crossbeam, we signed letters of commitment with Chairman Ridley at the time and the commissioners to show the state and the federal government just how committed we were on this. The letters of commitment were to form a public-private partnership with the county contributing $2.4 million in addition to all the money that Crossbeam and Carroll EMC were going to invest. So we didn't get those awards either from the state. So in 2022, Tim and I met with the county. Chairman Ridley was the chairman at that time and said, if we just, Carroll EMC and Crossbeam, fund this, forget the grants. If we just fund building out fiber to every single meter in Haralson County where Carroll EMC has their electrical footprint, can we move forward with the Haralson County match? And of course, everybody, overwhelmingly said yes to that. So we affected a tax abatement for Carroll EMC, not Crossbeam, for Carroll EMC at that time. It's in place now. And I'm kind of smiling, Avery, you're sitting beside me. Not broadband related, but Avery was able to win the county the landfill lawsuit and situation. So the funds that the county had intended to reimburse to Carroll EMC for their investment, it was about a $25 million investment, was used to buy the land associated with the landfill, which is a good thing. And Carroll EMC and Crossbeam, this is home. We live here. You know that. So we've worked with Chairman Walker and many conversations. What is a solution? So the best thing that we could come up with on the table, the existing tax abatement that was for $18.5 million that's in place now, sorry, I got to look at my notes to get the figures right. As of this December, Carroll EMC's invested $18,102,965. We are finishing the Haralson County build-out by March of this year, so we're very close to the end. Projections show that Carroll EMC will have invested about $22 million when Haralson County is, when all the invoices and bills are in for building Haralson County out. What we're asking for is to retool the existing tax abatement, and that probably means scrapping it and writing it again. Instead of it being for $18.5 million, be for the $22 million that Carroll EMC has actually got invested in the ground, have that start at the end of 2026. And I believe that sums everything I've got up. It's been a wonderful project. We've been working on this since 2019, and we're just about to finish it, so.
Say that last part again about the 2026. What's up then?
Well, when you do, Commissioner, when you do tax abatements, what Carroll EMC, they will file all the assets that they placed in the ground. They do it every year. So you don't have to have the retooled, which is scrap the old tax abatement, rewrite it for the new one. You don't have to have that paperwork done until December 31st.
Okay.
So if we start working on it with a goal of getting it completed before December 31st, when Tim's CFO, Jennifer Harmon, files the abatement,
You get the full 10-year,
you get the full period of the abatement, right?
you get the full period of the abatement. And 2025 was the first year you applied that the abatement started. Is that correct, this past year?
I would imagine it started in, yeah, I believe it started in 2024.
Because I think this is our second draw, our second.
Yeah, we've been in implementation for about 2 years.
Okay.
Just
so
finishing,
20
yeah.
So you nearly have 100% of the infrastructure in,
That's correct.
with about 7 years, I'll call it 6 years left on the original 10-year abatement.
Yes, Commissioner, 7 years left.
Be about 7 years left. And the project will be built out completely. There's no other phases.
There's no other phases aside continual operations and maintenance. If you drive around, not everyone's going to recognize, say, what the Carroll EMC investment looks like, but if you can picture a cable in the air, and then you picture another company's cable in the air, say another broadband provider's company, and theirs looks the size of a small pencil. But the Carroll EMC one looks the size of a silver dollar in diameter. When we designed this network, we took a 100-year view. So we put the fiber infrastructure, not just to say we're going to serve 30% of the residents in Haralson County. We designed it for 100% of the electric meters, day one. And then we put enough fiber in there for our projections on what this county could be in 100 years. So you'll see quite an investment. Nobody's going to call and want broadband and be told it's not available, we're at capacity. No new industry. We also put fiber in to support it should our county serve data centers in the future, other companies' data centers. It won't come here unless you've got electricity, unless you have fiber connectivity to the rest of the world. So we took that in mind as well.
Kyle, just to be clear, all this is doing is expanding your current abatement from $18-odd million to $22 million.
Well,
I mean, just to put it in the most simplest of terms.
Yes, Commissioner, but I want to make this point. Back in that timeframe, the Haralson County committed to, in addition to the tax abatement, plus an additional $2.4 million in the form of a letter of commitment. I know things have changed with the county's financial abilities, and a lot of it was because of the win with the land sale and the ARPA funds were used there. So the extension or the retooling of the current tax abatement, and Chairman Tarpley, I wasn't thinking 10 years. If you look at the value of the assets that are being abated, if that tax abatement doesn't go out longer than the original one, there's really no material value to Carroll EMC. So we were looking at 15-plus years on the actual value of what Carroll MC has invested, which is trending to be $22 million by March of this year.
But wasn't that that first 2.4 million that was set aside? This was happening when I first took office. It was set aside for the grant, which we lost. And then that's the reason we got the reimbursement of the 2.4 million. And it was sitting to the side, waiting on another grant that was given to Spectrum. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, during Chairman Ridley's, Carroll EMC, Sync Global, Crossbeam came to us and told us that they had enough money raised, that they was gonna finish it out. There was no need for that. And that's where I was.
That's a little bit different. The first, we lost 6 grants. When you get to the 5th and 6th, the National Telecommunications Infrastructure and Administration Broadband Grant is where we put our first match with the county together, and that was in 2021. At the end of 2021, the Georgia Capital Project Grant came out, and so we did an amendment with the county to our letter of commitment for the 2.4 million for that grant, which we lost. And then that's when Tim and I came and said, if we just self-fund this, it means we've got to go borrow money.
Yeah.
And these are 20-year, 30-year notes. Ours are conventional bank. Carroll MCs are mostly from the Rural Utility Service, 20 and 30-year loans. That's when we went back. I had over 30 meetings here with the county. We went back and asked Chairman Ridley if he would speak to the board, and if we just self-funded this, would the county still contribute their 2.4 million match? And he said, yes. After that, in 2023, I believe, is when the landfill lawsuit was won, and those funds that were set aside had to be used for that, because the county had to purchase the land associated with that. So Chairman Ridley was very, very open. Tim and I were kept in the loop, on what was going on with the county's funds and abilities to honor that match. What we said is our loans are so long-term, 20, going upwards of 30 years on some of those loans. Could the county start making its match in the form of annual payments, even over a very long time? And that evolved to where we are today. Why don't we just re-extend our current tax abatement, which I think Avery says that means cancel the current one and write a new one for a longer term. I think is that?
Yes, when they do an extension, they really just do a new one, is what they do it for.
So we're doing an additional 10 plus? Is that what we're looking at? Or we're just killing it and starting a new one for 10?
I think Avery has said we will kill the current one.
And start a new one for 10?
Do a new one, right.
Plus the 2.4 million, that's
No,
what.
it'd be for 16. Or will it be for 10?
I think it'd be for 10. It wouldn't include the $2.4 million payment, correct?
It would not include the 2.4, but when you start a new one over, if you do the new one over for 17 years, that gets us a full 20, because we've already had 3 years of tax abatement.
Right.
Let me ask you this. As equipment fails, new equipment comes out, things have to be replaced, Bill, Crossbeam, or Carroll, I'm sure it would be mostly Crossbeam because it sits on EMC's poles, but the equipment's Crossbeam, I assume. Would y'all be asking for additional abatements after this 20 years on new and additional going forward?
That's a really good question. We did not ask for abatements for any electronics or any of the equipment that has 5 and 7 year useful life. So on the Crossbeam side, we asked for 0 abatements, received 0 abatements. All the electronics, the staff working the broadband side, and the things that are updated aside from the physical fiber cable, there is no tax abatement for that. So this tax abatement that we're talking about is physically for the bolts holding the cable on the poles and the cable. Some of it's underground. We're oversimplifying, but it's just for the
To
cable.
your question, Commissioner Tarpley, we would not be asking for additional tax abatement.
Thank you, Tim.
Okay.
Avery, what action do we need to take tonight?
So the company would work with the Development Authority. The Development Authority is the one that negotiates and puts together the abatement process. And there's a lot of expense and time that goes into that. But so before that process starts, they just need to know that the board is going to be supportive of that and approve the final agreements when they come before the board. So we can put it on the regular agenda for the board to vote on if we want to proceed with or there can be a consensus that can be told to the Development Authority to work with the company to negotiate and go forward with the abatement.
My thought on that is I would appreciate if the board would consider waiting until the February meeting, which is 2 weeks away, to vote on it, because I would like for Zach Smith, who's here tonight, but I'd like to hear some numbers from Zach as to what this 10 years has abatement-wise we're doing, what meat's gonna be left on that bone at the end of 20 years as far as any ad valorem taxes come to the county. I would imagine after 20 years, it's pretty much got a zero residual value. But I'd like to know what that is to the county.
Sure, Zach and I.
Yeah, Zach's out there.
Zach and I know each other well. Zach, you can get with me on any information that you need, and we talk about these things as if they're in a bubble. We've got a big storm coming. Y'all been watching the weather, you know that.
Yeah.
When you talk about 20 and 30 years, Carroll EMC and Sync Global, every single day we operate this, we're replacing damaged assets. So there's always new investments going on. When you're a facility operator, it's just part of the requirement.
And these abatements are just fiber lines
correct.
and hardware, basically.
Yeah.
It's not any of the electric facilities, and as the county continues to grow, I mean, you're still getting growth from Carroll EMC when it comes.
Does it
to-
negatively impact y'all in any way by waiting till February to approve it the first weekend? Does it hamper anything that y'all need to get started, or does that still leave you sufficient time?
That's fine with me. I mean, Kyle is,
I was kind of looking at you. I know it's more of a Kyle question, but.
Crossbeam is managing this project for us. We own the fiber.
Yeah.
And so that's where we're spending the millions of dollars on behalf of our members. And we are very grateful for Haralson County for y'all's support that you've given us already. And we hope that you'll really consider this request. But it's, it's been a real partnership, us working together to get broadband throughout the community. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, since we got to, I think we'll still have plenty of time to get the abatement worked out if we wait till February.
I don't want this to come across as a negativity. You talk about how much you appreciate us and the county. Y'all are the ones that brought it, and it won't go unnoticed. But even in your own businesses, and you don't want to make a $2 million business system sitting here tonight when we haven't had time to vent it at all, and get some information from Zach. So don't look at this as a negative answer. It's just fact finding.
No, we greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
And I
we
know the
absolutely
citizens
do.
of the county greatly appreciate it.
Well, I don't have to say anything. I've been here my whole life, so I'm ecstatic that we're this close to. I don't even like using the term finished. So everyone that wants service will have it. I'm glad that we're this close to what I call the starting line, because now we get to start operating and growing the county. It's exciting.
I do have one question.
Oh, go ahead.
I do have one question. For the customers that's on Georgia Power, like myself, that don't have the opportunity to have this, have y'all got something in the works with those guys to where we might get a better internet service? Because I hear that your internet service is A-okay.
Well, now this is not Carroll MC. This is Crossbeam's parent company, Sync Global, Synchronet, all in Haralson County. We work with the Southern Company, and we do a lot of big projects with Georgia Power. They're not going to get into fiber to the home. So Tim and the Carroll MC board let us design this thing with the potential for expanding it outside of the Carroll MC footprint, but we are not doing that till we get every member, Carroll MC member served. So I don't know exactly where you live, but it's possible. You've got to live pretty close to me.
In the great state of Waco.
Yep.
Thank you, Kyle.
Well, thank y'all, all of you, I appreciate it, and I just have to say this for those who don't know. Kyle, the man who put this out here to build for the people of Haralson County, he's one of the last to get it. And, that's very impressive when you don't make yourself first, you made yourself last, and, appreciate it.
Thank you. They made my family kind of mad at me. Thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all for coming tonight.
I have a question, when can we have a choice between Carroll EMC and Georgia Power? 'Cause I might become a customer if I have that option.
I understand, I appreciate that.
All righty. Thank y'all again for coming, and thank you for what you've done for this county on getting internet. Okay, hey, item number 4 we got here, Avery had dropped it up, a resolution for each and all of us to look at and study on. No actions tonight, just for y'all to have something in hand. Resolution to establish a position of a county manager, which y'all know a resolution would have to go to the people of this county to vote on that. So, but that's what this is. He has produced that a draft.
And these are samples, Chairman. These, you have a model form from ACCG that we'll use, and then also another county in Georgia that had recently gone through the process as well. And you can see some of the duties and things that they outline in there. And what we'll do is we're going to take these and we'll have a draft that we'll circulate prior to the February meeting and give you time to look at it and see what you think. And let us know if you have any changes or issues or concerns. And as the chairman said, any action taken by the board has to be approved by the voters, and the voters would have to approve that.
Thank you, Avery.
Thank you. All right. Item number 5, we have Mr. Bruce Goldsmith here to
Yep.
speak to us.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
So I moved here 35 years ago, and the reason I moved here was I really liked the rural environment of the community. And when I moved here in 1990, out to the northeastern part, off of Copper Mine Road and Hutchison Road, it was extremely rural, and that's exactly what I liked, being in the woods and out near the Tallapoosa River. And then somebody purchased 79 acres right near the property on the same gravel road, and he wanted to put 71 homes in there. And some of you may not know, but there was no zoning in this county at that time. It would have been pretty hard to stop that. So the way I stopped it is I bought that piece of property from him. And I decided that I didn't want to just sit on it, that I wanted to develop it in a more conscious way, and went through a number of twists and turns with the Planning Commission, and decided to create, of the 79 acres, 35 acres of green space. This was 1999. Extremely ahead of the time. Nobody else was doing that. Everybody wanted to eat every single penny they could out of the property, and I wanted to keep it as rural as possible. I was a little ahead of the curve. Nobody wanted to build spec homes back in 1999 out in the woods. So I shelved the project and have decided recently that I would like to sell the property in a way that people could live rurally. And what I did is I put out some signs around the property saying 79 acres, all or part. And I now have over a dozen people who would love to have 10-acre tracts. Now, some of you may be aware, but there's a number of restrictions that the county has on how you can divide a piece of property. You can only divide it into 3 pieces within a 12-month period of time, which means I could sell 2 lots and keep a lot and then wait a year. Sell another 2 lots and keep a lot and wait a year. That's a difficult way to go. And so I have pictures of the lots here that I can give to you. I have information about ways that we might change this. But what I'd like to say is that in '99, the way I did it with the 35 acres of green space is I had 31 lots that were 1 to 3 acre lots. There was a person on the planning commission back then who was very involved in helping to create the zoning. And he introduced me to this concept of rural by design, where we could maybe cluster the homes a little bit together and then leave all this other green space. And the county seemed to really like it. They signed off on the approval of it. I went and I built the roads for it. But like I said, I was too early for people to want to build spec homes in that environment. So I have this information for you. What I would like to do with the property, it's 79 acres, is I would like to give 7 families the ability to have a 10-acre or 15-acre homestead. This would be their forever home. These are people who already have a house and they're looking for a place to live, and they see Haralson County as being a wonderful rural place to do that. And I can guarantee that if I have 7 people put homes there, you're gonna get a few more taxes than you get from me paying on the 79 acres year after year, now for 27 years. So I have these pieces of paper here that show what the property looks like. It shows what I was approved for with the 31 lots, and it shows what I want to do. So the original developer was gonna put 71 homes, I wanna put 7. But the county is gonna have to work with me a little bit to make that happen. I believe it's going to attract the right kind of people. I believe that it's going to maintain the rural environment of the property. There's a QR code on that so that you can actually go ahead and see the plats. You can see the approval of the first phase of the 3 phases I was gonna do. It was brought to my attention that approval by the planning commission has no expiration date. But I'm not looking to put 31 homes in there. I'm looking to put 7. So I'm asking for you guys to work with me and figure out a way that we can do this for the benefit of the county and the benefit of 7 families who want to live here and raise their families here.
So
Can you,
basically, you want us to change where you doing the 3 a year into 7 at one time?
I didn't hear all of that, I'm
Said
sorry.
you're wanting us to change where you do the 3 lots a year to 7, you know,
Oh,
and above.
That would be ideal. The other thing that we need to think about is access. As you can see, the piece of property is kind of long and skinny. So that would mean that if we could come up with a way, according to what I read, that you cannot have flag lot driveways right next to each other. Well, that sort of kills the whole concept of being able to do this. So we would have a common driveway that would come down. Each and every lot would have 100 feet of road frontage. So a 10-acre lot with 100 foot of road frontage means basically that's meeting your 50 feet per 5 acres. So we're not asking not to have that frontage there, but we're asking why have 5 driveways or 6 driveways when you could have one common one that these people would share? So those are the 2 things I'm requesting, the ability to satisfy these people who want the property now, as well as the ability for them to have access to the property.
Are you gonna do the road yourself, the driveway yourself?
That's something that I'll have to discuss with the people who purchase it. And there's gonna be kind of a whole understanding here. There'll be a sealed bid process most likely, because I have more people who want it than I have. And they're gonna have to choose which areas they would prefer, and we're gonna have to go through a process here. I already have a good deal of road that goes in there and what provides access to the back. That's the purple road on there. And that, we built a lot more than what I showed there as the purple road. But at the time, the county said I only needed 40 foot of access onto the paved road, and that would be the road that would access for all 31 homes. Well, now the county's decided that it needs to be wider, but the way I got that 40 foot is I went ahead and traded some land with a neighbor so that I could bring it out to the paved road instead of having the access off of the gravel road. So the 40 foot that I have there doesn't meet the regulations that exist now, but it met the regulations then. So there's a few things here, and I outlined it there,
Now,
as to how it could be satisfied for everybody. Yes.
on these lots that I'm looking at for the spec 7,
If you take a look at the picture at the bottom,
yeah, that's what I'm looking at here.
yeah,
So this would be Hutchison Road, correct, here?
No, that's the gravel road, that's Windridge. And
Okay.
There's about 700 feet of frontage for the whole piece of property there. The little purple line that comes down.
Right.
That heads out and hits Hutchison Road.
Right. Okay, so the way that I'm looking, the way that these lots are spaced out, I guess you're giving the easements for each piece of property with these little,
Yeah,
Kick
each
out?
piece of property would end up having 100 foot on the road. Yeah, that's the idea of that.
But the
That-
purple
that doesn't
road is
mean
what
that
you're-
This is set in stone at
Right.
all. This is just.
right. But the
Spitball.
purple road that you've got listed here, you're saying you want to pull 7 driveways off onto this purple road, correct?
No, that purple road is to provide access to the back piece of property.
Just to the back piece of property?
Yeah, the red road is the one that I see
Through
as
the
the
center.
common.
Okay.
Right, that you take a portion, there's gonna be basically 400 feet of frontage there, and you take a portion of it and put in a good 50 or 60-foot driveway that those 4 lots would be responsible for maintaining.
Doesn't emergency management have a issue with this type of setup because of mailboxes, not everybody having a common driveway? If you're sent to an address, you don't, is there a problem when it comes to emergency management and/or the post office?
'Cause this would actually, this red road would actually be a private drive, correct?
It'd be a private drive, but it would be on Windridge Lane, so all
Right.
the mailboxes would be out there on the gravel road, and I
Right.
would think that they could put a sign
Okay.
with the numbers and the names indicating
Right.
who's back there.
Okay.
So the private drive would be and always would be maintained by the property owners. It would never be considered a
It
county
shouldn't be an
road.
expense to the county.
Do what?
It should not be an expense to the county. That's not the intention here at all. You know, we would have it very clear in the sale that, what's involved as far as access is concerned.
And each one of these lots you've got listed here are approximate how many acres? 10?
Well, except for the back.
Except for the back
It would be
separated.
about 30, but they're approximately 10.
Okay.
yeah.
Giving us a good bit to think about, Mr. Goldsmith. We appreciate it.
Well, I've been sitting on it for 27 years, but all of a sudden I have these people contacting me once and twice a week. What's happening with the land? I have people who, they want to be Haralson residents.
Well, they've been waiting for 27 years. Give us some time to look it over. We're not gonna make that decision tonight, but,
Well, I wasn't expecting anything tonight, but I would like to actually start moving this property sometime in February or March. That's my goal.
Is there any kind of rezoning or anything like that we'd have to go through, Avery?
Yeah, the process would be that, Mr. Goldsmith can sit down with the planning and zoning staff, and I can sit down with them too, and we'll go through the major and minor subdivision ordinances and see what the issues are. And if there are variances that need to be requested from that ordinance, then there's a process to go through to do those variances. So I think, the first step would be, we could have a meeting and go through get a definite plan and see what variances might be needed from the current ordinances to meet that plan.
Thank you, Mr. Goldsmith.
Thank you for your time. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. All righty, at this time, this ends our work session. At this time, I will call our meeting, call it to order. At this time, would we all stand for the invocation? Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for this day given us, God. Just thank you for who you are. And just, we pray for wisdom and knowledge throughout our meetings, God, to serve the citizens of this county. Be with us, God, in this upcoming preparation of the cold weather events coming. Just keep us safe in any harm and danger in it. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. This time, before we get started, I just want to congratulate Miss Allison Palmer for her retirement. It's coming up at the end of the month. Thank you for your 17-plus years of service to this county. And at this time, I'd entertain any other district commissioners that would like to have any words.
I would. I tell you what, I've been a commissioner for 9, and before that, I attended meetings for 4 years prior to coming, an elected official. And I hope that Allison would agree with me today. We have come 180 degrees from what our relationship started out was 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago. We really never saw eye to eye, and we stood toe to toe on many things. But I have learned over the last 9 years to respect this lady for the work that she does for this county and the love that she puts into this county. And I've learned a lot by soaking up my pride and listening to her for a little bit. And we're going to truly miss her. I can assure you of that. I'm going to thank you, ma'am.
And I want to thank you too, because me being a newly elected official, the last 3 years and 1 month, there's been a lot of questions that's been answered by Miss Allison, and she's a wealth of knowledge, and you will truly be missed.
One thing I'll add, I think, Allison, besides what everybody else said, I think you can look in the mirror and say that you left the county in a better position than you found it.
Yes.
Well, you're talking about that county manager. You've been the county manager for a long time. People, you just didn't have the title. So, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank y'all.
We are having a get-together for her retirement this Friday.
23rd.
Next Friday. This Friday.
It's Friday,
Oh,
the
yeah,
23rd.
Before the ice storm, yeah.
This Friday.
Yeah.
2 to 4. This Friday, 2 to 4 here in the office. Anyone wants to drop by between 2 and 4 and congratulate Miss Allison for her years of service and her retirement. All right. Okay. Do I have the approval for the previous minutes? The regular call meeting, December 2nd, the work session, December 16th, and the special call meeting, December 16th. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the previous minutes as written.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? All in favor, raise your right hand. All right. All right, I would like, on the approval of the agenda, like I said earlier, would be adding item number 11 for the tactic machine to this agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as amended, adding item 11.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. All right, thank y'all. Okay, the number 11. Okay, item number 1 for a vote, the Victims of Crime Advocacy Grant. This grant was awarded. And just want to, do I have a motion to approve this grant?
Chairman, we actually have to read the grant number into
Okay.
the minutes on this
Okay,
one.
and this is a grant number AW VOCA-25-071-12. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the grant, grant number AWVOCA 25071-012.
Second.
Second, all in favor, raise a hand. Motion carries. Item number 2, we everybody had a copy. We've got to do a vote on the 2026 qualifying fee resolution. Vote. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the qualifying fee 2026 resolution.
I'll second.
Got a second? Any questions? All in favor, so right hand. Motion carries. All right. The item number 3 is the Haralson County Development Authority IGA vote. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the Development Authority IGA.
Can we have a little explanation as to that, please? As to the IGA?
Yes. What we have here is the Board of Commissioners approved an IGA with the Development Authority in August 18th, 2025, for the Development Authority to market some of the county's land. The land we're talking about is everybody knows as the landfill property land, where the county resolved that matter and obtained the 1,600 acres of land. And the first IGA dealt with 600 acres of that land. And the Development Authority has been marketing that land for the county, has had some success and, on different items and issues. And they've come back and said, we really think that we can sell all of the land together and get an even better price for the county for that. And this is all for economic development purposes through the Development Authority. So they've come back, and the proposal is for the Development Authority to market the full property that the county owns, which is 1,600 acres. And you should all know, and the citizens should be assured, that there will be restrictions that say that the property is not to be used as a landfill, transfer station, or similar use, and that will be recorded in the deeds that are issued. So that's the protection for the citizens in the county so that that doesn't happen again. But the Development Authority is marketing it, and we would hope that, if things go well, that they might be able to close in the next 18 months or so on the property and move forward. They've already annexed part of it into the city of Tallapoosa, and I believe the rest of the property will likely need to be annexed into the city to provide the necessary
But
utilities.
this is just strictly a marketing tool right now.
Right now, they're the ones that are marketing it and will negotiate with the end user, and we've provided them some guardrails to do that on behalf of the county.
Okay. Thank you.
Reiterate the motion that we approve the Development Authority IGA.
Second.
All in favor? Motion right hand. Motion carries. Item number 4 is the purchase of the 26 Chevrolet Tahoe for the crisis response team from opioid funds. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2026 Chevrolet Tahoe for the crisis response team from the opioid funds.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, show of right hand. Motion carries. Next item is bid openings for Waco Fire Station concrete project.
And I believe you were just going to open them and read out who they're from, and if there's totals, we'll give you the totals, and it'll go back to be reviewed to make sure everything all qualifications are met.
Yes.
We're not doing names, just totals.
No, we'll do names.
Okay.
Names,
Not voting
It's
if-
names, not
No
totals.
voting.
Do what? No, if there's
Names.
Just names and not totals?
No, we were going to give you both if they have the total.
Right.
All right, the first one is Sunny Farmer, and it's $102,500. And bear with us, because we do have to write these. The second one is 3H Remodeling and Consulting. And The estimate is 46,000, or the total cost is $46,750. Yes, okay. It had some other writing, I couldn't tell if it was additional amounts. Our third one, Top Line Contracting LLC,
Say that again.
Top Line
Okay.
Contracting. And that is $63,214.25. The next one is Brian Cole Concrete. And it is $42,800. The next one is ATL Prime Services. Wow. The price is $54,850. The next one is L.A. Rogers Enterprise for $92,000. The next one is Broad Street Contract Services. And that is $65,600. The final is ABA Construction and Consulting. And the proposed is $51,775.
What was number 5, ATL Prime?
Anybody got that?
ATL Prime was 54,850.
What was the name of the one right after ATL Prime?
L.A. Roger.
And you're gonna go back and confirm that they all do the same thing? I know we've got quite a separation between the high and the low bids on this.
Yes, they will go back over with, and review these to make sure that all the qualifications and requirements that we put in are met.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other questions? All right. At this time is the water, item number 6, Water Authority appointments. We have a 2-year term and a 4-year term that's open. We will start with the 2-year term. And is there any nominations?
Who is the current 2-year holder?
Tony Ellis.
I make a motion to, or I nominate. I will make a nomination to appoint Tony Ellis back to that position for 2 years.
Okay, got a nomination?
Am I able to add a nomination? or we need
Yes,
to vote?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
I just nominate Michael Ballou. Mr. Ballou is the current, I don't want to speak out of turn and say that he's in a position he's not, but I know he's in some type of a managerial role with the Coweta County Water Authority. Somebody that's asked me a few times to get involved, and so requested that he have an opportunity to serve on the board. He's got a good bit of knowledge and obviously some experience. And
He lives in the county.
yeah, he actually lives in Tallapoosa.
And what was his name again?
Michael Ballou.
Michael Blue.
Is
okay.
that Ballew? Okay.
He had reached out a couple times to me asking to be nominated, so.
Okay. Any other nominees? All right. At this time, we will have a vote,
Close
or
nominations.
have a closed nominations. A motion to close nominations?
Second.
Second, all in favor? All righty. Now, we will move on and make a vote on, the,
I make a motion that we appoint, Tony Ellis back to that 2-year term that he is, fulfilling right now.
do I have a second?
I second.
All right. All in favor? All opposed? All right. Do I have, the next nomination will be Michael Ballou.
Make a motion, we appoint Michael Ballou to the Water Authority.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, next is the 4-year term. Do I open nominations?
I'd like to nominate Ronnie Ridley for the 4-year term.
I'll second. I believe he's currently in that position, is that correct?
Yes.
In that role.
Any other nominations? Or, all right, we got a motion and a second for Ronnie Ridley to fulfill that term.
Now, you gotta close nominations.
Okay. All in favor for the nomination?
Make a motion.
Make
Second.
second. All right. All in favor of closing nominations? All closed? All right. Do I have a motion for Ronnie Ridley?
Make a motion to approve Ronnie Ridley for the 4-year term for the Water Authority appointment.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor by raising the right hand? Motion carries. All right. Item number 7 is the authority appointment. Cliff Coates is the present member. He said he would serve, or if no one else had any nominations. Is there any nominations?
Cliff who?
Coates.
How many people do we have on the Haralson County Airport Authority?
3.
3.
3.
Yes.
And they are who? They're Cliff? I mean,
Tony, Cliff and Tony Ellis and,
Bill He?
No,
and
Dennis, Mitch Dennis.
Who?
it's Dennis.
Mitch Dennis.
Mitch Dennis, that's correct.
And then we have 3 and Carroll County has 3.
You said it was Cliff Coates, Mitch Dennis, and who was the other one?
Tony Ellis.
Tony Ellis.
Tony Ellis.
And these are all how long on the terms?
I believe that's a 6-year term.
Are we
Each
approving
one?
all of them, or just?
No,
Coates?
just,
No, we only Cliff Coates is, yes,
is up.
expired.
Yes, Cliff Coates' term's up.
Mr. Coates wants to continue doing it, I just make a motion, we reappoint Cliff Coates to the Airport Authority.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. At this time, item number 8 is the point our new county clerk effective February 1st of 2026, Julia Watson. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we appoint Julia Watson as county clerk.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Item number 9 is appointment of Human Resource Director effective February 1st, 2026. Brian Casillas. Sorry. But
Brian Kay.
K. But, okay, get that. That's a Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we appoint Brian Kay to, Human Resources Director as of February the 1st.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Item number 10 is the appointment of our attorney effective January 1st of 2026, which we did not, that would be Ty Singer firm. Avery Jackson is our county. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we'll reappoint the Ty Singer Law Firm and with Avery Jackson acting as our lead attorney.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Item number 11 is the purchase of the Tactic machine to analyze opioid drugs and other for $31,458.70. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the TACT ID.
Second.
Second. All in favor, motion, raise your hand. Thank you. Motion carries. All right. Was there any public participation on agenda items?
No.
Is there any participation on agenda items? All right.
Could we introduce the two you just appointed?
We will. We're going to. At this time, Ms. Julia
Julia
Watson.
Watson.
Thank you.
gonna do
Tell us tell us about you, Julia. She is from Haralson County.
I currently live in Tallapoosa. I've lived there since 2017. I'm coming from state government. I have 23 years of state government experience, and I'm excited to be on board.
Thank you.
Good to
Glad
have you. All right. Okay.
Okay. And Brian Krasilowicz is your new HR director coming up, and he's gonna do y'all an excellent job also.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Got some good ones.
Thank y'all for serving. At this time, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we stand adjourned.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wrong.